Well, blue skies at Newcastle United's training ground here this morning. Eddie Howe just previewing the game against Leicester City, and one where you would think Newcastle United fans will be confident of 3 points at the King Power Stadium. Never easy in the Premier League, as Brentford showed only the other night, even turning Newcastle round for the kick-off on a night where, you know, they made Newcastle go all the way, and it took something absolutely special from Sandro Tonali to win that game for Newcastle United, and that's what it's probably going to be like in all the games. I was watching Chelsea v Tottenham last night, hoping there might be a draw in that game to make things a bit easier in the table, but then I reminded myself that you just cannot rely on other teams in the Premier League. It's all about what you do, and that's certainly going to be the case for Newcastle at Leicester, regardless of their form. I've been down to the King Power Stadium before. It's always jumping just before kick-off, and you know they are capable of causing a shock or two. They're absolutely desperate down there to stay up, but it's going to be a tough night for Newcastle. But look, I think this one, if Newcastle have their sort of main players fit for it, then they're going to be in with a great chance. I think Alexander ISAK will probably play. There's been a bit of a talk of doubts going into the game because of the groin injury. It all feels precautionary. Anthony Gordon, on the other hand, does not seem to be in a place where he'll be fit to face Leicester. But a couple of other knocks, Joelinton and Trippier, who should also be okay. But I think realistically for Newcastle at this stage of the season, you're going to have that. You know, there's 9 games to go. You would say there were 9 cup finals for Newcastle. We hate that cliche, but that's exactly how important these games are for Newcastle. And I think realistically now, we on Tyneside feel Newcastle can make it a bit of a double this season, winning the Carabao Cup and also getting in the Champions League. That's what this is going to be about now, the narrative for the remainder of the season. So let's hope Newcastle can continue that run. Great win against Brentford. Now they must do it again against Leicester City on Monday night. Well, Eddie Howe just met the press down here at Newcastle United's media centre. A couple of days ahead of that game against Leicester at the King Power Stadium. The big question has to be about Alexander ISAK. Is he going to be fit? He came off in that win over Brentford with a groin injury, and there's been a lot of concern over him from the fan base and whether he's going to be able to lead the line for Newcastle United's Champions League charge. This game against Brentford now emerges after we've just spoke to Eddie Howe that ISAK actually got injured in the warm-up. That's where the groin injury started. If you remember, he missed the game against Liverpool earlier in the season at Anfield because of the same situation, and now Newcastle will have to assess him in the build-up to this match, but they're going to have a look at him over in training just over my shoulder here at Benton ahead of that game against Leicester. As I say, there's still a couple of days to go. The other injuries to be concerned about is Kieran Trippier had cramp. He's going to be assessed today. Joelinton also had a bit of a knock to the knee. Eddie Howe saying basically that, you know, Joelinton usually refuses to miss matches, so that should not be an issue. And then the other question will be Anthony Gordon, back from suspension now. He had that whack against Albania for England in the World Cup qualifier at Wembley, and now we have to wait to see if he's going to be available for Monday. Harvey Barnes in great form, no rush to get Gordon back, but yeah, a decision to be made either way for Eddie Howe on that one.